Hello and welcome in to our Wednesday weekly mixing stream here. We are mixing a cover of I Saw Her Standing There by the Beatles here today. So it'll be a really straightforward, kind of stripped down track here, a little bit different from what we did last week with all the big background vocals and the keys parts and all that going on. Really small drum kit, some claps, bass, pair of electrics, pair of vocals, and we are donezo with this track here. As always, if you want to mix along with the stream, if you want to mix along with me, there's a link in the description of the video. You can download the multi-tracks for this song completely for free. So you can pull them into your DAW, import them in, and you can mix along with the stream. You can follow along with me. Otherwise, you can just use the multi-tracks for your own mixing practice. They are link in the description if you want to grab those free of charge. The only thing I have turned up here to start is the kick drum. That is where we are going to start, and we'll kind of move left to right with this track here. I do have my mix bus processing in place here. I've got the console shaper up here, just the drive, no noise, no crosstalk, nothing like that, and the drive is all the way down at 0 here. Next thing I have in the chain is my mix bus compressor. This is the PreSonus BritComp. It's like their version of the SSL style bus compressor. Threshold is at -1.6. The attack is at 30 milliseconds. Release is at 100 milliseconds. And then a 2-to-1 ratio. So being pretty gentle with this unit here. It's affecting the whole mix. So we're only going to be doing about 2 dB of reduction with this. No heavy lifting, just a little bit of glue on the bus here. And this is, everything here is in from the get-go. So I'm going to mix into this. There's a dB in makeup gain as well. Next in the chain here, I have the soft tube tape machine. This is run pretty close to default settings here. So I have it clicked up 0.1 on the amount. So it's at 5.1 on the amount. I do click it over to the B type for the color because I like it. It gives me a little bit more bottom end warmth, I feel like, than A or C. Either A or C is more top end kind of shine and shimmer, and then one of them is pretty neutral there. 30 IPS for the tape speed, and I'm just kind of shooting to hang between 7 and 3 on the VU meter there. I'm sending full signal into this mix B. We're going to do some parallel processing later down the line on the track, so it'll be some parallel compression and EQ on the entire mix, but both of these, mix A and mix B, are running into my mix bus here, which has 6 dB of gain into a -1 dB ceiling. So this is a little bit of mastering style processing on the master bus here, but it's not something I'm going to print when I send this mix out to my mastering session. This is there pretty much just to monitor through. This makes sure that when I do pull this into my mastering session and I crank up the volume, I'm not going to be surprised by any balance changes or any frequency changes in the track because I'm mixing into that little bit of limiting and that extra gain. But because I'm bumping this up by 6 dB, I'm going to pull my main output down by 6 dB. That way I'm not listening really, really loud the whole time I'm mixing. That would kind of kill my ears. I would get super tired, have to take more breaks. But let's move over. We're going to start with the kick drum here, kind of see how things are looking. Not a bad kick drum sound. I don't think we'll need that limiter at the beginning of the chain. This dip at 80 hertz is concerning. So I think what we're going to do is I want to get rid of this bump at like 120. A little bit more. I like that. It looks natural on the return here. And then we're going to pull in a high pass filter up to about there or maybe even here. Because I want to bring up 80 hertz is what I want to bring up there. That feels better. We lost a lot of volume, but that's okay. We'll get it back here in a second. I might also flatten that out just a touch. That way when I boost the top end, it's a little bit more even of a boost here. Okay, I want to hit it with some compression. Okay, about 8.5 dB of compression. That tightens it up a little bit. Now let's see if we can get this bottom right. I kind of like that. I'm tempted to let some extra sub through there. That's not bad. I'm going to bring this over down to about 40. Maybe even below. Yeah, I like that. That feels good. Now, we got the bottom end handled there. Let's see if we can get the top end handled, because I need some top end click on it. Let's get rid of that for a moment. That's feeling better. We're still missing a ton of kind of high mid information here. But I'm kind of digging the click, so let's see if we can get some meat in it here. There's that kind of rock oomph I'm looking for there. I'm going to put a limiter on the bus just so we can kind of see where okay, I think I'm happy with that at the moment. I might put that there just for safety and leave it. I'm happy with that at the moment. Let's look at our snare drum. Same thing, kind of weak sound in here. So let's put this at like 9 is I think where I saw the biggest spike there. Could actually bring it down one more. Yeah, I don't mind if it grabs that a little bit. That might be a bit much, so let's pull that back. So let's do this. Let's pull this back to 8 so it grabs those bigger peaks, and we'll double up and bring this one down to 11 to catch anything else that slips through. I mean, we could honestly just pull that back to 10. Doesn't need to grab most of the snare drum. I'm going to compress it a little bit. This is one of my favorite compressors for snare drum lately. It's like a DBX 160 like XT version. It's free too, RLC79. It's by Psycho Circuitry. Gives you access to the transformer and the harmonics too, which is awesome. Let's give it some top here. And then it definitely needs some high mid. It's like lack and crack. Right there. I like that. Now, with all of that extra bump, we need a little bit extra limiting after the compressor. Now I'm going to boost some bottom here. I kind of like that. Level's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. That's feeling good. Those are overheads. It's feeling a little off balance. Might be a little bit too much. Okay, I can dig that a little bit more. Let's pull down some of this kind of wonkiness here. Yeah, all of that can go. Let's see if that ride kind of sounds a little pokey. I might just trim some of that out. Doesn't seem like it's making a whole lot of difference right now. Making sure our phase is good. That was probably flipped during tracking. This is always one of my favorite mics on the drum kit, a mono room mic. Cool, I'm gonna blend that in. Something sounds a little funky. I'm wondering if it's the phase on the... No, it's okay. There's just a little less bottom on that roll. I like that. That's at the stereo room. So you can hear the mono room adds beef to the kick drum, right? Because it's more center focused. And then we add the stereo rooms, albeit I'm monitoring in mono at the moment. We add the stereo rooms and they kind of add more weight and crack to the snare drum. So we get a little bit different thing from each room mic, the mono room versus the stereo room there. Then we'll add some clipping here on the bus. It's nothing too heavy. You can see it's not even really doing anything here. But it's just there to shave off anything that kind of slips through. I mean, I kind of like how those sound. I'm maybe a limiter. They look really great though, so. Yeah, we'll kind of blend those in as we need them. All right, here's our violin bass. I don't know if you can see it hanging on the wall. It's a Univox, so it's not a Hofner, but close enough. I'm gonna pull down some of this mid-ranginess here. I'm gonna hit it pretty hard with the compressor. You can hear it gives us some extra personality on the bass as well. Okay, now I want to get the bottom under control here. So I've got a multi-band. We're looking at 180 hertz and below, and I'll actually just edit all relative here. So we'll compress the top end as well. But I want to compress against the bottom mainly to try and even out the low end on this bass guitar. So we're going to slide this down. And I don't mind if it gets us, you can hear there's a little bit of breakup. That's fine. That's going to help us hear the bass guitar in the mix. Okay, now end of the chain, we'll boost this up. Do we add some extra bite? I mean, it's just guitar and bass. I kind of dig that little bit of 700. It's that little bit of honkiness. Gotta add some top though. That's actually feeling pretty close. Let's listen to just the bottom end here, below 100 hertz, see where our kick and bass are sitting. I like that. So this is our rhythm guitar here. They're both technically rhythm guitars. One will turn into a lead guitar though. Don't worry about the bottom I just rolled off. We'll get that back in a second here. I'd rather the compressor not hear any of that sub area though. How are these tracks isolated? It is a cover song. It is not the actual I Saw Her Standing There. Yeah, it's a cover song. If I flip to the lead vocal. Hard wind boom. Yeah, not McCartney. It is a cover song. So that is how the tracks are isolated. Hard wind boom. And then Braxall, hi. Welcome back in. As always, though, even though it is a cover song, multi-tracks are available. Link in the description if you want to download them and mix along with the stream here. The replay stays up after the stream as well. So if you want to grab those, they're completely free. You can follow along, mix along with me. Otherwise, use them as you please for your own mixing practice. So we're lacking some mids here. I'm gonna compress it first. You can hear it tightens it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna give it just a touch of this 4K area. And then this is what it's missing. It's missing a ton of this area here. And then to help us even more, I'm going to take this multi-band. We're going to look at this kind of 1K area and kind of just squeeze the top end a little bit, kind of hold our bass or our rhythm guitar in place. A little bit of ringing that I was hearing there. We got our solo here in the middle. I'm going to pull that down even with everything else, just for the moment. I know we thinned out the guitar there just a touch. That's okay, though. This, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hit this a little bit harder with the multi-band. Am I going to react to the Beatles' Revolver album next? I was thinking about Revolver or maybe Let It Be production-wise. I mean, Revolver's pretty up there too production-wise. The early Beatles records I didn't do much of because they're pretty much straightforward like we're looking at here with the cover of I Saw Her Standing There. Drums, bass, pair of guitars, vocal, and we're kind of on the road there. And then Braxel, you said, I just sent my Audioscape 260 VU back to Audioscape to have him convert it to the deluxe version. What's the difference between the regular and the deluxe version? I don't think I know. I'm gonna give this some bottom here. Doesn't seem like this needs much. That's feeling better there. Cool. I'm liking how everything is kind of sitting there. Guitars feel a little bit better. You said so the deluxe version, high pass sidechain, frequency knob. Okay, that's always cool on a compressor having the high pass sidechain. It has an iron transformer. The original doesn't have a bypass switch. That's kind of crazy. And then a blend knob. So a mix knob for each side. That's kind of cool as well. A mix knob is always a nice bonus. I will say I feel like I rarely use a mix knob, especially on outboard gear. But it's always nice to have. Not having a bypass switch is kind of crazy on the non-deluxe version. You're mixing hybrid though? Okay, yeah, for sure. Having a blend knob or a mix knob, if you're mixing hybrid, absolutely very, very helpful. So is the bypass switch. That blows me away that there's not a bypass switch on the normal version. I'm gonna blend in some of this bass distortion. Now I have this medium studio reverb, and I think I'm going to use it here on the guitars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a multi-mono reverb. So I'm going to use the splitter tool here at the beginning of the chain. We'll put it on channel split. I'm going to put a room reverb on the left, and then I'm going to copy it over, hopefully copy it over to the right. Yep, we'll make sure it's 100% there. I'm going to bump this up to 300. Okay, now I'm going to reverse the panning here on the reverb output. So as our guitars come in, they're going to come out the opposite end of the reverb. So our guitar that's panned left, when it comes out the reverb, it will be on the right. That way it's going to give us this extra set of balance, and it's going to give us the illusion of more width as well. We'll make sure the panning is right there. So let's kind of blend this up here. You can hear the life it adds to our guitars. So without, I'm digging that.
When I crossed that room and I held her, well, my heart went
And don't worry, we'll boost up the guitar solo as well.
boom. When I crossed that room, and, well, my heart went boom. When I crossed that room, well, my heart went boom. When I crossed that room and I held her hand in my ear, well, my heart went boom. When I
Really hitting this
crossed
vocal hard
that
here.
room and I held her hand in my ear.
Just to squeeze it and hold it in one place. Also, 1176 on vocals always adds a little bit more character, a little bit more crunch, personality.
Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room and I held her hand in my ear. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room and I held.
It honestly doesn't feel like it needs that much top, but let's make sure the de-esser is hitting okay. One of those S's felt a little aggressive.
Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room.
Better.
And I held her hand in my ear. Oh, we danced through the night and we held each other tight.
Feels better.
And before too long, now how could I dance without? Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room and I held her hand in my ear. Oh, we danced through the night and we held each other tight.
Little limiter,
And
little
before too
topper.
long, I'd fall in love with her. Now how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there.
Nice. I'm liking where the vocal's sitting there volume-wise. I think the top end should be okay as well. Braxel, you said the iron transformer can be switched on and off for each side as well. So all of the mods can be bypassed. Oh. Okay. That's from I actually don't have any Audioscape gear. I see the ads for them. I see them on I think it's Sweetwater that I see them on. I'm always tempted to try some of their stuff. I've mainly got Warm Audio gear. I also have an Avalon just for vocals, and I crush room mics with it. And then I've got lots of PreSonus gear as well. But I've never dipped in the Audioscape era. Maybe I should. Do you have anything else by them besides the 260? A 260 would be really cool to have, though.
Heart went boom when I crossed that room and I had. Well, my heart went boom.
Get the harshness here on the vocal. I was kind of considering what I want to do with effects there. Kind of just sounds verby to me. I don't know if there's...
What I mean, and the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance? How could 17? You know what I mean, and the way she looked was way beyond compare.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's like a lot of slap or anything. It just sounds like verb panned off.
So how could I dance with another? Ooh, when I saw her standing there. Well, she looked at me. 1, 2, 3, 5. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond.
Okay, I'm liking the dry vocal at the moment. Keating, you said reverb on vocal like the Beatles. Yes, that's what I was just listening for there. Early Beatles are famous for that like double kind of slap sound as well. That's why I was listening to see if it was there. It doesn't sound like it's there yet. I mean, opening song to the first record, so it is just. You're right. Reverb. It sounds like it's panned off to one side. I'm not going to pan it off to one side, but it sounds like it's just verb to me. It's probably the Abbey Road chamber, the Abbey Road plate. And then Braxel, you said you have the MK609. The third. How's the 33609? That would be interesting. I like a 33609 for like parallel compression, drums. I do it on the master bus. I mean, I think you were here last time, so you probably saw me do that. But yeah, the AS78, 1178, and then the V3A, the LA3A. And LA3A would be kind of cool as well. Like even just to go on guitars. That's a good one. How's the 33609? Is it good? What do you usually use it on?
So how could I dance with another? Ooh, when I saw her standing there.
Cool. I think before we do anything else, before I add too many more effects, I want to look at referencing. We might reference the original a little bit. We'll see if I want to do that. Mix-wise, it's probably not the greatest thing to reference. But I do have my normal reference tracks in here as well. So let's see kind of how we're sitting here. We're going to look at 50 hertz and below to start. I'm going to crank this up here. So if you're listening on subs or if you're listening on bigger speakers, you might want to turn things down a little bit. I'm really cranking it up here to listen to the bottom end. So just keep that in mind. Let's see how we're sitting here. I want to make sure the vocals and the instrumentation are sitting, especially vocals and drums, sitting okay and in reference to my couple reference tracks. We'll look at the original a little bit as well. Make sure I'm not losing my hearing. We're 45 minutes in, so we'll make sure it's not bad and I'm not deaf yet before we add in effects on the vocal. And I want to make sure the lead vocal sounds good before I do the harmony vocal. And then from there we can kind of tweak verb on the snare, the verb we have on the guitar. So we'll see here. Let's check our reference. That's why, I mean, I've got this 3 dB up from where the release is. That's why it's not helpful sometimes to reference the original from like early 60s and 70s stuff, because There's like barely any bottom, especially on the kick drum. The kick drum's almost non-existent there. There's surprisingly more bottom on the bass than I would have thought. But you can hear how much bottom it's lacking. The only thing that I think is helpful referencing for older tracks like this is the mid-range, because it's so early 60s, 70s, sometimes even 80s, but 80s the bottom end starts to become more important. But 60s and 70s music, the bottom's not usually there, the super top end's not usually there, but the mid-range is dialed in. So if you're going to reference anything from like early tracks like this, especially with Beatles, the mid-range dialed in, the vocals, that kind of stuff in the mid-range sounds so good. But bottom end's just not going to be there. It's just a piece of the time. Kick sounds good. Bass actually sounds great as well. Okay, awesome. I'm happy with the sub area there. Let's keep moving. We'll look at 50 to 100 hertz. Braxel, you said you have the very first production of the 609. Okay, you use on mix bus, drums, vocals, bass. Oh, you're using it on everything. Oh, wow. Very, very nice. Oh, duplicated from an actual 33609. So metal knobs. See, metal knob sounds like such a small thing, and then you look at the Behringer one, and the knobs are falling off, the knobs are breaking off. That's it's such a small thing to think about, but metal knobs, they're so important on gear like that, because every time you're using it, you're grabbing those knobs, and if they're plastic, if they're cheap, if they're really brittle, they're gonna tear right off. So it's just, metal. You got to have metal knobs. Master Shahar, you said Suno? No, there's no Suno here. I promise. This is all live stuff here. Real drums, claps, bass, vocals, and everything here. All done here in studio. Even used as close to a Hofner bass as we could. We got a Univox hanging on the wall that we used. We don't have the actual the George Electromatic or the country gentleman he's using, but we do have the Gretsch back there. If you can see it, I don't know if you can see it off the webcam. No, it's hanging over the couch back here. But yeah, trying to keep it close. I mean, we don't have all the instruments they were using, but okay. Let's check this low end here. I like the kick. I actually really like the bass as well. That sounds great. Okay, I'm surprised I got the low end dialed in there, especially with a violin bass. Trying to get the bottom end right on something like that. They're very mid-rangey. They're very low midly because of the holes on them. Even going direct in, it's just it's tough sometimes. All right, here's our top end now. So 8K and above. I kind of like the top end, I think, on the vocal. I feel like I like the top end on the snare. The top end on the kick drum doesn't quite sound right. So I'm going to mute out the snare for a second here, kind of see where we're sitting. That feels better. It's still a little clicky sounding, but yeah, it sounds better. We actually might still have too much top end on the vocal. I mean, we didn't do a big boost there, but this is probably from, and this is from a few years ago. So I'm not sure what the mic would have been on the vocals. Yeah. I like it. It sounds good there. I like it. I like the top end on the drums too. Sounds good. Okay, that's sounding a little bit better there. You can see I brought up the reverse verb on the guitar, so it increases the volume just a touch, but it gives us that width as well. Oh, Master Shahar. It looks like he's using Cubase. It's not Cubase. It is Studio One. It's Fender Studio Pro now, but this is still Studio One 7. Finish EQ balancing, control peaks and clipping, and add light compression and limiter glue. We're pretty much done with compression. We might do some clipping at the end. But compressing everything, we're pretty much done there. We're doing just a little tweaks here with the EQ as we're referencing. Final step test in the car. I don't do any car tests. Yeah. I don't think it ever leaves this room for any final test here. I test on the headphones. I test on the speakers. Sometimes I'll pop buds in, but I get everything I need from my mixing headphones and the monitors here. That's the deal with referencing. If you know your reference tracks really well, you don't need to dip out, check it in the car. You don't need to check it on a whole bunch of different systems. If you know your references really well and you're comfortable with your references, you can get away with headphones, pair of speakers, and you should be golden there. Cool, let's keep moving here. So 2K to 5K. Snare sounds great, actually. I'm still not crazy about the kick sound, I feel like. It's a little clicky. I might leave it alone though. I added a half dB there at 3K on the vocal. Sounds okay. It just felt like it was lacking a touch of energy there. Yeah, I kind of like where the guitars are sitting there. That's feeling pretty good here. So let's move down 1K to 2K here. So kind of moving into the mid-range. Test the mix on speakers, headphones, car audio, and export the mastered version in high quality. Yeah, I'm not doing car audio, but yes, headphones and speakers. If you're doing, I at least recommend one other, right? I could probably get away just on the headphones, but I get so much more clarity on how the mid-range sounds by using the speakers as well. Braxel, you said you treated your room and use Trinov Nova. I'm not sure what that is. What's the Trinov Nova? Am I saying that right? I don't think I've ever heard of that. But having your room treated, if you're going to use speakers, you got to have your room at least semi-treated. If you look, I mean, kind of behind me, there's not a lot of treatment on the walls out here. Even the ceiling above me is not treated. So it's not a great sounding room, but you can see the big sofa. There's a bunch of rugs on the ground, and then all of the walls are pretty much covered. If you look behind me, the only kind of bare spot is all the way back at the stairs there. That's probably like 10, 15 feet behind me there. So I'm not super worried about that. I mean, I could treat this pole too, but it's a hollow wooden pole. And then the ceiling is drop tile ceiling. So there's a good air gap above that. I'm not getting a lot of reflections. The only thing I'd probably be getting big reflections from that I should treat, and I always think about it, but I've never done it, is the ceiling right above like the board here, like right about here, straight up, there's like a little dip in the drop tile ceiling where it's drywall because vents are running through there. So I should treat that at some point, whether I just put some foam, some flat foam padding there to kind of catch the reflections immediately off the speakers, or something. I know I should do that at some point. I just haven't. I rely more on my headphones than I do the speakers. Like I said, I kind of check the mid-range from the speakers. But everything else in the room, the sofa sucks up a lot of sound. It's just a big fluffy sofa. And then the multiple rugs that are down. There's a couple different chairs that are floating around the room as well. So it does enough of the absorption for me. The speakers are on little foam pads as well. So I'm not getting a crazy amount of reflections. That's probably the only area I need to worry about. Braxall, you said, Google it, see what it is exactly. It helps your room. It is a box that will not leave your room. So it's a hardware room correction box. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've never used one of those either. It'd be interesting to hear what that would do to the room sound here. But those are always super helpful, especially if you're relying more on your speakers. Snare actually sounds great. Wow. I like where the guitars are sitting. The vocal feels okay volume-wise. The reference feels sharper in that like 1.5K range. Feels like it has more attack, but I'm okay not having that there. We could probably pull some of that out there. Yeah, it feels better. The snare feels really big there. Let's see if we just dip a half dB there. That feels better. And guitars sound good there. Cool. Let's move down here. We've got 200 to 500 here now. Kick and snare sound great. Could use a little more on the bass there. Hear the bass there in the mid-range? Ooh. Still kind of concerned about the bottom here. I want to listen to the super lows here. Not the super lows, but 100 to 250, our last little frequency range here. I'll probably add some more bottom to the guitars there. Braxley, you're asking if this is the Fender version of Studio One. It is not yet. I'm still weary about upgrading. I'd rather let that simmer for a little bit longer before I grab the new version. I saw when it first came out, there were quite a few bugs that people were running into, that's just natural with a big upgrade like that, and then moving to kind of a new platform as well. So there was going to be some bugs. Some of the changes I wasn't crazy about. I don't think I'll ever be able to unlearn double clicking to open a plugin, stuff like that. But no, this isn't the new one yet. This is still Studio One, PreSonus Studio One version 7. And I'm happy with it. I'm loving it, so I'm staying with it at the moment. Snare seems a touch too beefy. I'm going to add a touch back on the bass here. That feels better. Yeah, guitars feel thin there, so let's pull some of this up. And I'll widen it just a touch. I'm gonna drop a high pass down there, just dB and a half, almost 2 dB. That feels good.
Across that room, and I held her hand in mine. You know what I mean, and the way she looked was way beyond compare.
Cool. Now we can kind of look at the harmony vocal here. So all I'm going to do is literally just copy that straight across here. We'll look at maybe this first bridge section here. This line looks like it's the loudest, so let's kind of put it up to even.
And I held her hand in mine, and I held her hand, and I held her hand in mine. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in mine.
Such a weird harmony. Leave it to John Lennon.
Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in mine.
Cool. And then let's blend that guy in there.
compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her stand there. How could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Now I couldn't dance with another. Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room and held her hand in my ear. While we danced just 17.
So let's blend a little bit of the verb in. I think I'm going to leave the slap delay off. Actually, before that, do we need any on the snare?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to put some on the snare. Bring the claps up. See how low those are on the original.
17, you. Beyond compare. Well, she was just 17. You know.
We're not sending on the vocal here? Is that what's going on? We are not. So let's send to the lexicon verb here.
Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was, well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, she looked at me, and I could see that before too long I'd fall in love with her. Now I'll never dance with another.
Cool. I'm going to put a mix tool here,
Well, my heart.
and we're going to bump the solo. So this is going to turn on during the solo.
Well, my heart went boom. Oh, we danced through the night, and we held each other tight. Oh, we danced.
You got to have the little whoop in there.
Heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I was way beyond.
That sounded pretty good to me, so I'm going to do a touch of clipping here on the master bus. It probably won't do anything.
Heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her.
Like a half a dB of clipping on the master bus there. That's just going to save us a little bit of extra room in the parallel chain here. If I can shave off like a half dB there at -5, when we push into the parallel chain here and we bring this up, things aren't going to be as crazy going into the final limiter. So here's our mix B chain.
Heart went boom when I crossed that.
Here's the 33609 style compressor here. 100 millisecond recovery, -12 on the threshold, 2-to-1 ratio. Got 8 dB of gain because you can see we're doing about 7 to 10 dB of reduction here. And then I've got an EQ afterwards, adding 3 dB at 60 and 3 dB at 7K. So this is going to give us that little bit of extra oomph, some extra shimmer on top, and we're going to blend this in under the track here.
Heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in heart went when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in my ear. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Is that verbed out?
1, 2, 3, 5.
It is.
1, 2, 3, 5. Well, she was just. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, she.
We're going to mute that guy there. Nice. All right. That sounds good to me. Let's make sure our start point is okay.
1, 2,
That can come up.
1, 2, 3, 5. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare.
All right, we're going to do some final listen throughs here, some full listen throughs of the track. Oh, I'm going to do one on the headphones here, and then we'll do one on the mains in the room, and that'll be our okay for the song here. I'm going to bump this up to 0. I'm going to tweak the volume on the stream just a little bit here. So you'll be listening at exactly the same level you have the whole time. I am now going to listen at the level that you were listening to. Which is 0. I usually listen 6 dB quieter than 0 the whole time when I'm mixing. Just make sure my ears don't get tired while I'm going, but I don't want you to hear my voice just towering over the mix the whole time because I'm mixing quieter. So you'll be listening at exactly the same level. I am now going to listen at the level that you were listening to on the headphones first, and then we'll flip to the mains here in the room and make sure everything is sounding good there as well. So here's our first full listen through of the mix.
1, 2, 3, 5. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well,
That's sounding pretty good to me. The only thing I wanted to do was I want to throw the verb up, I think, here. I feel like it gets crazy on the original. I mean... See, I feel like that would be cool. So I'm going to grab this. And I'm just going to ride it up a little bit. Even if we just take it up. Let's take it up 9. Kind of see what that sounds like there.
When I saw her standing there,
not quite. Let's bring it up a little bit more. Maybe we don't fade it in. Maybe we just throw it up. That sounds good enough to me. I like it. I'm happy with that. Let's do a full listen through. Oh, on the mains here in the room. We'll make sure everything is sounding fine and dandy. And then we will be on our way with this track here. It's sounding really, really good. I'm happy with how everything is sounding on the headphones. This will be our final little check here before we call it. If you haven't already, make sure you grab the Multitracks. Link in the description of the video. You can download the Multitracks for this song completely for free, so you can pull them into whatever DAW you're using. Mix along. You can follow along with the stream here. Otherwise, you can just use them for your own extra mixing practice. There's tons and tons of other multi-tracks on that page as well, like over like a year and a half's worth of these weekly mixing streams now. So there's a bunch of sets of multi-tracks with links back to each of the streams that go along with those multi-tracks. So you can grab any of them that interest you, any of them that you want. Go back and follow along with the stream if you want to mix along with me. Otherwise, just get any of them that you feel like for some extra mixing practice. All right, we're going to do one more listen through on the mains here in the room. See if there's anything harsh, anything prickly sticking out. Then we're going to call this thing done.
1, 2, 3, 5. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw you know 17, you know what I mean. 17, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. And the way you know what I mean. Just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, she looked at me, and I could see that before too long I'd fall in love with her. Now I'll never dance with another. Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in my hand, in my my
One thing I think I want to try, that guitar sounds too dry, I think, in the solo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the verb that's already on the guitars to the guitar solo as well. That way, when we get to the guitar solo, we can click this on and it will give us an extra bump of verb on the guitar solo. Just here. That's all. Let's see what that sounds like going into the solo.
Oh, when I saw her standing there.
Last little thing I heard, I think, was there was that final hit sounds a little wonky on the overheads, I think. So let's just... Much better. I'm happy with that. We're going to call that done there. I think the only thing that I'm missing, just because McCartney does it, right? When you go see McCartney live on that last one, "So standing there," he goes up. I want that to happen. But more faithful cover song to the record here. I am happy with how the song is sitting here. It's sounding really, really good. We brought up the verb on the guitar solo. I think I kicked up the lead vocal a little bit as I pulled out some of those notches. But other than that, That sounded really, really good. I am happy with how the song came out here. Again, if you want to mix along with the stream, if you want to mix this song, the multi-tracks are in the description. You can click that link, download the multi-tracks completely for free, so you can pull them into your DAW, into your session, and you can mix along. You can follow along with the stream here. All these replays stay up. Otherwise, you can just use them for some extra free mixing practice. Those are in the description if you want to grab those multi-tracks. I'm here every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Central Time here in the US. New set of multi-tracks, new song, new cover song, new original song, what have you. Multi-tracks are always available, so you can download them and you can mix along if you want to join in on the mixing. I hope these are helpful for you. These are always super fun for me. I mean, this is kind of what I was always looking for back in the day when I was learning how to mix. So I hope they're helpful for you if you're jumping into the stream here. Thanks so much for hanging with me for another one. That'll do it for this stream here. Thanks so much for watching along, and I will see you in the next video.